Hi, I'm Virgie Rodriguez, and we're here with Race of Your Own, where inspiration leads to resilience. And I have a new guest today, and I'm so excited to have him here. Miami born. He is dance and choreographer for well-known artists such as Kevin Hart, Will Smith, Lil Nas X, Nicki Minaj, Pitbull, and Cardi B. In 2017, he established his own traveling dance business, specializing in what he called the Parent Jam, which is a style of dance performance that includes children and their parents jamming out to timeless music. And he also loves the family experience, which he can combine with dance, which is like for him, it's all about the positive learning environment that can really bring a smile to families' faces. Mr. Phil Wright.
Oh, man, come on, man, with that intro. Come on now. Like, that's all we need.
Yes.
That's all we need.
That's all we need here. That's all we need.
Thank you for having me, V.
Yeah,
really
thanks for being here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's only like a couple of your credits here. I didn't even really go into the other stuff, which is
we just sent you the clip. We just sent you the short version.
But you also produced something for the Disney Channel called Disney's Fam Jam.
Yeah.
To highlight the bonding experience that happens when generations come together to perform. Can you explain a little bit about that?
So how the Disney's Fam Jam developed was from the Parent Jam class format. So I had been filming like these classes, the Parent Jam, on in Hollywood, as you all know. And there was a studio called IDA.
Yes,
And
I remember IDA.
yeah, I know you know IDA.
Yeah.
So we would have classes there, and that's where I developed the idea. And then I was filming my classes and would put them on YouTube. And there was this producer who reached out to me and was like, hey, I think this is a TV show. Like, I think we can do this. And I'm like, lady, you wasting my time. I ain't got time for this and whatever. So it just so happened like one of the videos went viral. And like all these celebrities were commenting and reposting. Tyrese had, reposted it. Everybody was just reposting and stuff. And I ultimately met with the lady. And shout out to Irene Dreher.
Shout out Irene.
Irene, man, she believed in me from the very beginning. And we sat at Starbucks. She came in here with her fur coat.
Nice.
Very nice, well put. And she was like, I really think we can sell this as a TV show. So 9 months later, I found myself in a Disney office in a round table with a bunch of executives asking me what I would like to do with the show.
Wow.
And from there on out, we developed Disney's Fam Jam. That's how it was birthed.
Nice.
Yeah.
And, kind of what I'm hearing you say, because now we're, the industry is is shifting. Like every day, it's what's, we live here, so we feel it. We know, we see what the city feels like and what it's like. Moving into like independent content creation. That's like such a testament, because I talk a lot about that here, which is like, it's such a testament to you kind of just walking in what you do, what you're strong at, what you believe in, and your purpose, and the opportunity presented itself.
Absolutely. And I didn't call for it necessarily. I didn't really say, okay, I want to take this to network
Disney
TV or Disney or whatever. I was just... I feel strongly that when you really reach deep down inside of your passion, great things will come about regardless of, what the motive is, right? And that was a prime example of that. I had not, and when I look back and reflect on my career, a lot of my success came from that. It was, I was auditioning obviously, but majority of my success did not come from me knocking on doors. It came from me creating my own, doing what I love to do, and not thinking past that at all. And then, when those things happen, subsequently opportunities present themselves, and they want to know, how did you come up with this idea? And they, I say they, but they want to surround themselves around other superstars and other innovators, because as we know, the industry has been around forever. Right. So there's nothing new under the sun, right. So whenever you have a fresh new idea that arises, it's like, oh, okay, well, let's bring this person in and let's collaborate. And that's how it works.
And that's, it's a testament to who you surround yourself with too. The fact that Irene saw it and actually approached you about it. and saw something in you and wanted to support you in that versus just taking it and doing it herself without you.
Absolutely. Hey, and listen,
Because
and there are the
we
people.
know that happens.
Yes, yes.
And I've been in those shoes.
You've been snipped.
Oh, plenty of times. Still happening. It's still happening. Still happens to this day. So that's a testament to even her and who you partner with, right? Like actually seeing the people in the industry as your community member.
Yeah.
That is like, I see something in you. I want to give him a chance because I see him doing it.
Yeah, and listen, a message to all the snippers out there who are snipping people's ideas. The idea won't be the same without the chef. Okay, it won't taste the same. The dinner won't taste the same if you don't have the same recipe. You can mock all you want, you can copy all you want, but it will not taste the same at the end of the day. You can make it, you can create it, but it will not ultimately serve the same purpose.
It's always a little bland, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bland.
It's a little
the seasoned
bland.
salt is a little off.
It's just off.
You know, a little off.
It's just off.
Can I get some barbecue sauce on here? Oh.
You know, and it's so funny because I think what I've realized, and even just from doing the show, right?
Yeah.
Like the people that I've brought on as my dance community friends, right? Because we've never worked together, but we're like, we know the same people. We're in the same kind
of... A lot of the same shoulders.
Yeah, same stuff. It's like we understand the importance of that and of really supporting community, right? Not that it doesn't happen in the dance world. It does. We know it does. But, you know, actually seeing each other's work and being inspired by it and saying, yeah, you know, I'd love to, you know, to me, at least in my kind of circle of friends and people that I know, like if I have an idea about something and I feel like, hey, I think you'd be great, Phil, if, you know, I have this idea for this thing, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, come on, let's try it out. Let's, even if it tanks and we don't, it goes nowhere or it's just like whatever. It's at least we try those first baby steps of just like trying it out and figuring it out.
Absolutely. And I think there's a underlying chemistry to the dance community itself. Like the moment you know that someone else dances, it's like, oh, you're one of us. You're right. Like oh, so you know what the struggle is and you know what it takes to be a creator and you know, a mover or whatever the case is. So I think that's great that, you know, our community is so large yet so small at the same time. Yeah.
And you know, we've been on stages, we've seen like the best of the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In that sense, right?
Yeah, even my friends.
Yeah.
Listen, shout out to my friends. Calvin Hodge, Carl,
Nice.
Antoine. Like my friends are so talented. And I get asked that question all the time. Who inspires you? Who inspires you the most? And it's my boys, man, my guys. Shout out to Xavion. Shout out to Adrian. Like all these guys, we have like a group chat and we talk, you know, randomly. We're all working. We barely ever actually see each other just because we're working. Calvin's in Dubai and Carl's in, you know, Vancouver and he's over here and everyone's, you know, but every now and then we'll get like a little meme or we'll like talk or whatever. But those are the people that inspire me the most, man, are my friends because they excel in such a way that there's no time for relaxing and they do it in the best way possible, you know? And I look at them and I admire their courage and they just do so well. So yeah, shout out to my guys.
Yeah,
man.
you push each other in like a good way, right? It's like this healthy competition, right? Where it's like, I don't know, I think, you know, and that's, again, it's like just that, what I've noticed, because this show, I based it on being in a race of your own, right? Which sounds like exactly what your story is, right? It's like, and again, being a dancer, being in that world, having to compete at that level for a gig for maybe 1 or 2 spots, right? Because depending on what job you're auditioning for or like whatever, having like what I always found with my dancer friends, it's like we could have been in a room auditioning and competing and being like, sorry, like love you, but I need this gig.
I'm about to burn you to pieces.
I need this gig. You know what I mean? And like but we'll go get drinks out or we'll go eat after, you know, or whatever. And then outside of the room, it's just like, hey. Like, but in the room, it's like fearless. tigers.
Yeah.
Like we're like yo, like I need this gig. I need to get this. But when I look back on that and I look at what I'm doing now and what everybody is like doing next, there's still like this. There's like this camaraderie of like support.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because we've been there, we've done that. We know what competition is at that level. I don't. Like you can't compete where you don't compare.
Me and my brothers, man, we try to make it a point to where when we come together and we commence, we don't even talk about dance.
Right.
We talk about life. We talk about, hey man, how are the kids? Right. Hey man, how you and the missus? Right. Oh, where y'all going to vacation from? Man, you're working a lot. You need to slow down, or whatever the case is. We make it a point to be human, because
authentic.
As authentic.
Because that seems to be a buzzword lately. Like authenticity seems to be such a buzzword. But
and listen, if I need to get checked, hey, my boys will check me instantly. Carl be the first one. Hey man, why you post that? Take that down, man. Take that down. Why you spazzing out right now? I'm like, I'm like in my zone or whatnot. But we definitely hold each other accountable. And I think that's the circle that you need to be around. And not necessarily like in the perimeter. You need to be rubbing shoulders everywhere you go. But your closest source of contact need to be people who will hold you up, right? Especially when you make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. We all make mistakes all the time.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect. And it's good to be around people who will hold you accountable, yet also encourage you to keep going and moving forward. So, I know I'm talking a lot about them. That's guys,
fine.
Man.
Because I almost feel like that blends into what you came up with Parent Jam, right? Which is like, because I was even, when I was kind of reading your bio and going through that and kind of looking into what Parent Jam was, and then how the Disney Fam Jam kind of came out of that, I thought of the times my mom took me to dance class. Right? And like what that would have been if she could have participated with me in class. Would that have been a difference? Not that she didn't mind. She didn't mind taking me to class. She would watch me through the window just like every other parent was like, in the back of the room.
Still support it.
Right, of course. Yeah. But like, wow, how cool would that have been and how fun would that have been if she would have been able to participate in a class with me like that? There wasn't really a class, at least where I was studying, right? Where I was taking class, where I was training. And all the other parents that were there that would have totally jumped in. So that's like a testament to like, you saw something about that, right? Like what was that thing that you saw? Cause I have also other choreographers that teach kids. And a lot of you guys teach a lot of conventions and classes and master classes. And a lot of them are, little ones to teenagers. And the parents, if it wasn't for the parents, those kids would not be in that class.
In there with the number.
Yeah. And for me, my mom wasn't a stage mom. She didn't push me like that, right? And I feel like a lot of dance parents, because that's dance moms, but dance parents are also like that. It's the kid that wants to be in the class dancing. Dancers are we're very niche. We're very specific. Even as kids, it's a specific kind of personality and characteristic because it's not something you can. If a kid does not want to be in a dance class, like you can tell.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you'll be able to tell. So what was the thing that you saw that you were like, maybe I should include the parents in this?
Well, it was a few things. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try not to go too deep. Okay. But my mother, single mom, raised me. She was very old fashioned, was never really into what I was doing. She's very like country, and I would, come home from basketball practice, come home from marching band practice, come home from dancing practice, and Mom, I got a recital, I got this, I got that, da 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 da. She didn't care. She didn't care. Did you brush your teeth? Did you
practical things?
Yeah. Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care about all that other stuff, And not blaming her or anything, but that was just the way that she chose to raise me best. And I lost my mom in 2015. Okay. And very, no, it's okay. Very sudden. She took her own life. So, and it was something, and this is prior to the Parent Jam, and I think I had never really experienced anything traumatic in that way. And I felt like at that moment of my career, the universe felt like I felt this happen to me, like an exchange. I don't know what that exchange is. I don't know I can't define it. But from the moment she left, it was like, oh, you ever seen The Matrix? I felt like I saw green.
Numbers,
I saw green everywhere. Things that bothered me before didn't matter anymore. I became so much more fearless about things, and just I went forward. Like for some reason, the wind was blowing me forward for some reason, but I didn't care about anything. And subsequently, things started dropping into my lap. Ideas started popping up. The Parent Jam and this and that and shooting videos in the street and just being very, very determined.
Proactive.
Yeah, very proactive. That was one of the components. I saw that as an opportunity for kids to connect with their parents more often than just either sitting at a dinner table or sitting in the car just telling them what their day was at school. And another component was when I was teaching those classes, the kid classes at first, all the parents were in the hallway like this.
Right.
Reading their books.
Right.
And
it's always like uncomfortable.
Yeah. Moms with the Forever 21 bags. They just went shopping. They're ready to pick them up.
Yeah.
And if I could be as honest as possible, I was like, man, there's an opportunity to make some more money here. I mean, like,
right.
What we doing?
Right.
What we doing?
I mean, they're the ones paying for the classes and stuff. Might as well.
What we doing? Like, where's money?
This is gold. Right.
This is gold, man. So that was another component. I was just trying to survive in LA, in the very, very, crabs in the bucket, LA, and develop something that I can make some more income on. And so there was the emotional side, there was a practical side. And I think using those two components kind of birthed, because I was emotionally, and I am still emotionally connected to that process of the Parent Jam. I still teach those classes. I have requests, and I can't tell you, man, I can't tell you how many messages I get after the class is over. Hey, Phil, I got to tell you, man, I had not been with my daughter in a long time. Or even dads would message me and be like, yo, you don't understand what you've done with me and my son and me and my daughter. Like, I've never connected with her this way.
Yeah.
Thank you so, so much. And you know what? That's the emotional side. And that is something that, it's priceless, honestly.
Yeah.
So, obviously the practical side, the business aspect comes second, but I dove down into the emotional side, and I think that's what sparked Parent Jam.
Yeah. Which is, again, and I talk about purpose, right? And so, we always talk about the moms. It's always like dance moms, but like the girl dads, the dads.
I got two girls myself.
Yeah.
Two girls,
you get it. Yeah. And it's the importance of that bonding too, that we don't always talk about either, right? Yeah. That it seems like, so to me, as I hear you talk about it, and you talk about your relationship with your mom and how that really kind of propelled you, right? To start that. Something must have happened energetically where it just kind of sounds like to me, it just pushed you. Yeah. It pushed you for whatever reason, it was, it could have been her just looking over you, right? Like, giving you these little blessings and these little, because even ideas are blessings, right? Of sparks of inspiration.
I would be angry though. I would be angry.
At the idea that you were getting?
Not at the idea, but at that moment in time in my life when the things were happening, I was not happy. I was not happy.
So you were getting the idea and then you were getting annoyed
I was getting the idea, I was getting the opportunities, but all I could focus on was the loss of my mom.
Right.
Why this, why that? Oh, we wanted to meet with this producer. I don't why
the
we
grief.
meet? Yeah, I was grieving. I'm still mourning.
Wow.
And it doesn't feel like that's been 10 years.
Right.
And it feels like yesterday.
Right.
So, and I would always tell myself, like, I would give it all back, and that's why I feel like the exchange happened. you know. So now I'm getting to a place where it's like, okay, she's just dropping these gems on me, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's dropping because my story is very unordinary. Like I'm like this guy coming out of nowhere from Miami, this guy, you know, street dancer from Miami, South Florida. Like this guy, I'm not really, you know, not saying I'm not supposed to be here because I've earned everything that I've got, but you know, it's not traditional, you know.
Well, I think too a lot like just us coming from, you know, I consider Miami a big city. I don't know. I do.
Well, I'm from the ghetto. Like I'm
What
from
part?
the Polk and Bean Projects, Richmond Heights. I'm one from, shout out to 152nd Street. You know what it is, Richmond Heights. You know what it is. Come on now, Goose. Come on, Goose.
I think Miami. I'm like South Beach.
Nah.
Miami. Or Hialeah.
Nah. Listen, we from Perrine. We from Richmond Heights, Goose, Homestead. Shout out to Naranja. Like that's the, you know, those are the
where
parts.
we come from.
Yeah.
Where we come from. You know, I grew up in New York City, in Queens, Astoria, then we moved to the Bronx, you know, and that was almost even like within that was even a culture shock. But there's still cities. And what I saw around me growing up, you know, girls were getting pregnant, knocked up young. And
early.
my mom was like, you come home knocked up.
It's over.
Yeah. And I was like, she scared the crap out of me. And I was like, all right, like, yeah. So what we were seeing in our neighborhoods was not, you know, you know, what any kid I think should have to live through, right?
Yeah. It's not the thought out plan. This is the road.
Yeah. And I had another guest on, one of my first guests, and he talked about growing up in the projects behind Lincoln Center and how entertainment was an escapism mechanism for him of like the project walls and what he saw around him in the streets and what was going on in New York at the time. And, you know, being able to escape. Watching because he liked Spielberg, and we talked about the magic of Spielberg, right? And like his movies just had this magic element to them. So I think finding something like dance, something that is just like nobody's gonna judge you, at least what I found, you know, in dance, unless even classically training, right? Like just the expression of it. Right. So even if you do a plie, even if you do a tendu, like, you're following that, but you do it your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to do it Phil's way. I'm going to do it Virgie's way. There's a freedom.
Yeah. Freedom of expression. There you go. Yeah.
Right. That nobody can judge.
No.
Nobody. Because the way you're going to do it and the way I'm going to do it, it might be the same step, but we're going to, there's a flavor. There's like we were saying before,
there's a personality. Sauce. There's a sauce. There's the way there's the culture as well.
But we're also bringing what we grew up in to that.
Yeah.
There's something about our neighborhoods, our what we were seeing around us at the time, our families, our friends' families, what our friends were going through. There was a lot in New York City going on at the time growing up for me. So I, you know, like when I think of that, and I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but it's only because I hear you say that, like, hey, where I'm from, and it's like, yes, but I understand what you mean by that because
we gotta throw the plug in. Like, listen, like, this has been a long road, a long journey, and you know that's why everyone owns up to where they're from, especially if you've found some type of, you know, validity in the industry. Like we all want to be recognized from our cultures and where we've been from, you know. So I think it's always important. That's why, you know, I always rep as much as I can. I do.
That's what, I'm like, Miami, South Beach?
Yeah. Nah, we not
You're
on
like,
South
no.
Beach. Nah.
Hialeah? Maybe?
Nah.
No.
Some Hialeah. I talk there a lot, but nah.
You're like, no. Little Havana? No. But I still understand what you mean. Even if I don't know what neighborhood you're talking about or what, like I still get it. So to me, there's like something about that. So, you know, I also know kind of like, you know, you produce frequently and you're teaching all around the globe. Like, what do you have coming up next that you're working on that you kind of see? Is there going to be like a Parent Jam 2.0?
Well, okay. So I talk to my assistant about this all the time. Shout out to Haley Walsh. I was bugging out. I was tripping. Like, man, like I'm like having my crash outs, right? And she's like, Phil, relax. And I'm like, why? What? She was like, one thing I know about you is that you know how to pivot, which I do, you know? So with talking about pivoting, I I have this company called Chicken Nugget University. Okay.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Crap,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot to put
It's
it in my
okay.
notes.
It's okay.
That's right. I saw that too.
But Chicken Nugget University. Okay. So Chicken Nugget University is a kids online program for kids who want to break into the industry, who are trying to pursue this long term. And ironically, I involve the parents in as well, just like Disney's Fam Jam and Parent Jam. And what this is a course, a monthly course, where kids get online training from professionals and from all the big choreographers. Remember, this is an online course. They have classes. They have their own online portal. They have homework. We see each other with our one-on-ones. We have one-on-ones, group sessions where I not only talk to the kids, but I talk to the parents as well, which is honestly the gem in it all, because a lot of parents are only looking at other parents who look at this other parent who doesn't really know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I try to gear them and, put them in the right position. And I'm very, very proud to say that since we've started the program, 15 of our students have been signed to a professional dance agency.
Nice.
Yeah. And a few of them actually have booked commercials that are running right now. There's a Walmart commercial that was running.
Nice.
There's this another commercial that's running that one of my chicken nuggets had booked. And
Is that what you call them? Chicken nuggets?
yeah, I call them chicken
can't.
nuggets. Yeah, I call
Your
them,
tendies?
I call them chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. That's funny.
Yeah, and yeah, developed that program, and it's been going really well. I have my team. Shout out to Naeem. Shout out to Haley.
Shout out team.
Yeah,
Like shout out team.
big team.
Nice.
And you have to have a team. Like
Yes.
there's just no way. And yeah. So we've been working on that. We're coming back in June. I'll be sending out the links very soon about that. So anybody that's interested in joining Chicken Nugget University,
What's that link?
Yeah, so the link is chickennuggetuniversity.com, okay?
That's
It's
hilarious.
Like you can just go to the site. Yeah. Go to the site, chickennuggetuniversity.com. You can look at all the packages. I have different packages there.
That's great.
We can do it on demand. You can do a live session, or I even have something called the Dean's List where they sign up for a year. Right. And then they get different perks. We give out merch, we give out duffel bags, we give out everything. So it's and they get extensive, more direct contact with myself. And yeah, that's how we've been developing. So that's wanted to give Chicken Nugget University a big shout out, because it's been going great.
And it sounds like it's like a mentorship program.
It is. It's
for
a
the
mentorship.
most part. Not only for the kids, but for the parents, right?
Right.
Because, we hear what we hear.
Right. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And to be able to involve the parents from day one
Yeah.
is so important. That is such a great narrative.
Yep.
Because we don't hear that a lot.
No, we don't.
Right?
We don't.
And so for you to be able to say, no, from day one, the parents are involved. They take my classes too, or whatever, right? And something I want to go back to something that you said earlier about the parents, moms and dads that say, wow, I can't believe just the relationship between my kid. This sounds like there's something therapeutic. There's like this bonding, and the word bonding is thrown around. Parent bonding, kid bonding, whatever. But there's something that must be happening in the class that like a dynamic that could be, because now they're a team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they got to get this combination, or they got to get these steps right together.
Yep.
So there must be something about like, oh, now we're a team.
I wish I want you to come to one of the classes.
Okay.
So you can see.
Yes.
Because seeing the parent dynamic between the parent and the kid, it's remarkable, man. Like usually you have these scenarios, right? If the kid is misbehaving, the parent is misbehaving, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If the kid is very shy and very chill, usually the parent is like, not all the time. And sometimes you have those parents like, come on, let's go. Like, and the kid's like, no, I ain't tripping.
Right.
So sometimes you'll have those scenarios, but the dynamic in the classroom that we develop, I think what makes the parents more comfortable is that they see other parents in there too. And I think that's the takeaway is that parents I know I would do anything for my kid. If my kid said, hey, daddy, we're having this parent jam. Could you come? I'm there. Like, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I'm there. What do you want me to do? Stand on my head?
Even if you didn't know how to dance.
Yeah, even if I didn't know how. And listen, you'll see doctors, lawyers, like interns in there, and from all walks of life, just supporting their kids. And I think that's, man, you'll just watch these videos and you just smile. You'll find yourself smiling. And so the dynamic, I think, comes from the relatability from parent to kid, and other parents looking at other parents doing the same thing that they're doing.
Right.
You know, because we're always wondering, like, am I doing this right? Am I being a good parent, or am I?
You mean you don't have it all figured out?
Right.
Don't we all have it all figured out? No,
we do not.
Okay, darn.
We do not.
I thought someone had it figured out. Okay.
But yeah, you know, I think the dynamic is very powerful. Very, very powerful. And it translates, obviously, you know, and everyone, not saying that it has to be biological, you know, you could, you know, someone can raise you and you can consider them a parent or whatever the case is. And it comes from culture and family. And that's what I promote heavily. Yeah.
And that's such a great narrative. It's such a beautiful narrative, right? Where, like, you know, just, and in the industry.
Yeah.
Right. In what we're seeing. And, you know, hopefully that will spark, you know, a movement in that sense where it's, you know, more parents want to come be with their kids in class. Because again, it's, if you go to any dance studio and it's a kid's class. Yeah. All the parents are in the hallway, are just trying to watch the hallway like this, trying to watch the class. And so I'm like, that's a brilliant idea. I'm sure, and I'm sure other people have classes like that too. But it's just, like, I thought about that and I was like, that's such a wow. What would that have been like, you know, growing up and having that, but the transformation that happens, hopefully generationally.
And then also the parents understand how important it is to take.
Wait, is generationally even a word? But anyway, sorry.
Hey, whatever. I mean, I'm rocking with it. Whatever. We can make it up. How do words get created now? Okay, let's create one. Anyway, I think, the parents. I think it's cool to see them in there, you know. I think it's dope. I think it's really cool, you know. And teaching kids, man, let me tell you something. It is no easy task.
It's hard.
It is so hard, man. And, you know, I know as choreographers and teachers ourselves and dancers, we say, oh, you're teaching kids. That feels like a little beneath all the industry big stuff.
Not these LA kids. Not these LA dance kids. What?
Right.
These LA dance kids are not.
Right.
No. These kids are.
Listen. We'll burn you down. We'll dance you around the block.
I've been at auditions with kids that like are like, you know, like competing for a spot, not against obviously the adults, but they will give you a run for your money. You're like, I gotta dance better than a 10-year-old.
Yeah, and I see them everywhere, man. I travel and I travel on my own for right now.
Right.
I'm actually gearing up for upcoming convention.
Nice. What convention are you on?
So right now I'm not on a convention.
Oh, okay.
Right now I'm just independent. I'm traveling on my own, going to different studios, reaching out. But there's a brand new convention that's coming out. New era of dance, which is called Press Play.
Press Play, nice.
Press Play. The directors are Ray Leeper and Danny Long.
Nice.
Shout out to Ray Leeper and Danny Long.
Shout out.
Yes, and they are running the ship, and we have a brand new staff, exciting people that's been waiting for this to happen. Our choreographers and teachers are remarkable. I don't think I can release too much.
I'm like, well, you heard it here first.
But we got 18 to 20 cities. We have a nationals that's going to be in Vegas. We are starting up in the fall.
Nice.
So it's going to be we're taking, you know, the dance era to a new level, and we're teasing a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get ready. It's going to be something to look for.
Press Play. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting to work with Ray again and Danny. And, you know, we've been seeing each other for so many years, teaching on conventions and whatnot. And now I feel like just the superstar team has come together. And we formed this, like, the Avengers.
Like you and you and you and you.
Like
Right.
Iron Man and the Hulk over here, Thor, and,
Right.
we just have the best of the best choreographers and teachers and educators on staff, and we're about to shake the industry.
I'm excited. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, anytime you can kind of keep creating, right?
Yeah.
And keep reaching out to audiences and keep, because there are so many conventions out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like, when you walk in your purpose, right? And I talk about that a lot, is just things start to fall into place.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before when your mom passed and everything, it's like, but you were still walking in your purpose as things were falling into place, and you were like, okay, I'm going to go to, you were in that flow.
Yep.
Right? You were just in that flow. And so something to kind of start to kind of bring this home a little bit that I talk about is, in life, we sometimes, we have to be pushed into being in a race of our own, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be peaks, valleys, and sometimes we plateau, and sometimes there's moments where there's just tumbleweeds and we don't know what path to take. What advice would you say to anyone, any young performer, whether it's kids, even parents that are bonding with their kids or want to bond better with their kids? What would you say is some piece of advice, some piece of something that you walked away with from this whole process? Because I'm sure you were learning on your end, like watching parents bond and what that was like for you with your spark of an idea, right? What would you say is a great piece of advice to give to somebody to be in a race of their own?
I think there's a difference between going through the motions and requesting the universe what you want and being it, right? You can go through the motions. You can go to class every single day and not book a job for your entire life. Like literally, I've seen it before. Yet you have those go-getters who said, you know what? I'm going to take class. I'm going to do extra work outside of class. I'm going to request and ask this energy to give it and become it. So my biggest piece of advice would be, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to become it. Do it. Be it. Live it, right? I know there was a time where I was like transitioning into acting, and I still am. I changed on my profile on my Instagram, actor.
You're like, dang it, I'm an actor.
Yeah, who gonna tell me no? Actor.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just a simple example. But don't be afraid to become it. A lot of us are very shy and timid and feeling like we're gonna be shut down by some Lord of the Ring or whatever the case is. Like, who wrote the rule book? Tell me.
Merlin.
Yeah. Show me the rule book where I have to go through these specific steps to reach where I want to go. No one can show you because you only know what you really want. So don't be afraid to be it. Don't be afraid to claim it and become it.
And that's, I also hear you say, which I've found for myself even, is giving myself permission.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where that came from. And I said that to somebody once and they were like, oh my God, yes. They resonated with it so much. And I didn't realize where that came from. And I think for me, it stemmed from when I realized like I was like, where does that feeling, what does that come from? Right. And just being in school and having to raise your hand to ask a question.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to ask the universe a question. You don't need to say, hi, can I be an actor now?
Yeah. Who's going to respond? Like what?
But it's interesting because once you start walking in that purpose, right, and saying, well, what do I have to do? I have to take class.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to know how to read a script.
Yep.
And I got to know how to read lines.
But the components are just going to be there if you don't pick it up.
Right.
If you don't go to class.
There's so many books
Absolutely.
on acting. Michael Caine's book is phenomenal.
Fire.
Yeah. Fire. And he said about the whole, he said as an actor, like looking into people's eyes.
And not blinking.
And not blinking, and you're like.
When I give you this.
And you're like, don't look away. Yeah.
Blinking is a distraction.
But he's like, and then, so now when I watch movies, I watch actors that
look
move
at the
their
eyes going back and forth all the time.
And it drives me nuts. And I'm like, they didn't read Michael Caine's book on acting.
They need to read that book.
Did.
I see it all the time. They're going back and forth.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is not good.
No.
Because I am distracted by that.
Right?
This was crazy.
You're distracted. And then you're like, now I'm not even in the scene anymore. Now I don't want to watch this. Anyway.
Because of Michael Caine. That's why.
Michael Caine's book. Anybody that wants to become an actor, read Michael Caine's book on acting. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to purpose. You know, there's and that's what I kind of hear you say is like, just take the initiative.
Yeah.
And so many people say the same thing, right? That I have on here, that they're kind of like just stepping it, and it for some reason we hold ourselves back.
And I think that's the reason why we hold ourselves back, you know, for the majority of the part is just because we're a little afraid of what the community will receive it as, you know, and it'll be rocky at first. People are going to judge you. People are going to criticize you, but this is what you're in here for.
Right.
Like,
whatever it is.
Whatever
we
it
talk
is.
about entertainment.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No,
whatever it is.
But whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And you'll have doubters. You have people telling you, like, you really want to do this? Do you want to, you know, and questioning it. And then you'll question yourself, like, do I? Am I really a good fit for that?
Yeah.
And going back to your point, you don't need to ask for permission.
Yeah.
You can just do it. Just do it. And you'll develop the community who will support you and love you. Listen, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Listen, one of like a lot of piece of my choreography or whatever piece of content that I've done, I thought it was trash. Okay, example. And I'm gonna make this quick, okay? I know we gotta
go for it.
Listen.
No, go for it. I'll sip my matcha.
The largest, so I was doing the Parent Jam. And I did this routine to Baby Shark.
I think I saw that video.
Oh, I know you saw. You probably did see that video.
Yeah, it's on your YouTube.
Now, I've created some dope material. Like, I've taught some dope material. I've shot commercials. I've done
That's
like
got
some
a lot
good.
of views.
Listen, hold on. Put the seatbelt on, okay? Now, I've done some dope stuff that I would like to say that is some of my best choreography, right?
Right.
I do this video on Baby Shark, the Parent Jam. And I'm in this video, Baby Shark, do, Baby Shark, do. I'm doing this.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
V, I'm doing this. Okay?
Baby Shark.
That video now has 250 million views.
Wow.
On YouTube.
That's phenomenal.
Took off. And the messages I received when it was going viral, and it still is, people were, they will send me videos of their kids dancing to the video on YouTube, just dancing up and down. The video and the piece of material that I thought was absolute trash took me to another level of notoriety.
Right.
And that was my biggest lesson in that. And that was in the midst of the Parent Jam. You know, and which sparked her eye. I'm pretty sure she was one of the ones that saw Irene, who's the one I'm talking about. But I always say that, like, and I also say that sometimes everything that we want isn't what the world needs. So the things that we desire and ambition, and I moved out here to dance with Chris Brown and the Ushers and the Justin Timberlakes. I never got the chance to do any of that. But listen, I found a way for myself to make myself feel like, okay, I'm valuable, you know? And, you know, that's one of the quotes that I live by is that, you know, everything that you want may not be what the world needs.
Right.
Yeah.
And betting on yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I mean, you work with Will Smith. Like, okay, you didn't work with those other guys, but you work with Will Smith. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
That,
I mean, that's an A-list actor.
I was afraid. I was so scared.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it
man.
scary?
He was like,
He seems like a nice guy.
He's one of my icons. Like, I
of
look
course.
up to. Like,
Yeah.
Will, like, you know, and he walked into the room. Hey, what's up, man? What's
So
going
cool.
on? Yeah, very
Nice.
cool, chill, down to earth. Kevin Hart was another one.
Nice.
Same. Hey, what's up? I was like, bro, I'm like, they were like, so the producer brought me in and was like, hey, Kevin wants to talk with you.
And you were like,
you
me?
know, I'm like, me? Now, remember, I'm working.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to fan out right now. Like,
Right.
whatever. I'm Phil Wright. I'm the choreographer.
Yeah.
I'm
here to do a job.
But the
Yeah.
little boy in me was like, yo, I'm about to meet Kevin Hart, bro. So we go in there, I meet him, and I was like, look, this is what you're gonna do. I was very like thorough with him, and then I just left. And then right after that, after the shoot was over, I got a picture with him. It was very nice, chill, and everything. They brought me back. I shot another commercial with him. We did DraftKings, which is running
nice.
on now with LeBron
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to do that. So Will Smith was dope. Kevin Hart was dope.
Yeah.
They both
so
from
that's what
Philly.
I'm saying. Are they?
Yeah, they both from Philly, huh?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but that and that's the thing. It's like we might not, work with, but then you still work with some pretty phenomenal people.
Oh,
So it balances itself out, right? So thank you so much, Phil, for being here. Where can we find you? We already heard about the Parent Jam, stuff. Yeah. But where else can we find you and follow you?
Well, first off, before I get into that, I have to say thank you for allowing me to come on here and talk with you. You're doing such an amazing job. I love the setup. I love who you are. I love what you stand for. Race of Your Own. Like, I think it's something that's needed and needs to be talked about. And people who are these great choreographers should have the opportunity to come up here and express themselves, because a lot of us don't see them in that light. So I love what you're doing. That's why I was like, yo, can I come on? Can I come on?
Yes,
so
of course.
Thank you for allowing me to come up here and share with you. I appreciate it. Chicken Nugget University. Okay, let's get into the promote. Yes. Chicken Nugget University. Go to chickennuggetuniversity.com. We're accepting enrollments right now. We're starting up in June. From the ages of 5 to 15. We're starting up there. We also have something called the Nugget Awards. The Grammys, the Emmys. Right. We call it the Nuggies.
I can't.
Yes, the Nuggies.
I can't. Yes. Do they get a Chicken Nugget Award?
They get a Chicken Nugget Award. Everyone comes up in their gala. It's online. It's online. We just had it.
That is great. It's online. I love it.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep, absolutely.
I can't.
So Chicken Nugget University, go sign up today. We also, so many things. The Parent Jam. Right now I'm traveling to different studios right now. You can book your studio on my Instagram page, which is at Phil_Wright_. You can follow me on YouTube, which is Dance Machine with the Z. Don't ask me about Dance Machine. Don't even ask me. Oh, okay. You can follow me on TikTok. Okay.
TikTok,
I got one of those things. I got one of those TikToks.
Yes.
I got a TikTok.
The TikTok.
Yeah.
You got the TikTok.
I got the TikTok. You can follow me there, Phil Wright _. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you, of course. I appreciate it. You support the show and it's taken off. It's doing its thing. And I'm just grateful that I can have people like you on the show that are really kind of walking in your purpose and really being a light in that sense. I really appreciate it.
You're killing it, V. You're killing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, So this is Virgie Rodriguez with A Race of Your Own. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Leave us your comments. Tell us anything else. What do you want to know about the Nugget Awards? Do you want to be a chicken nugget? Put it in the comments. Join Chicken Nugget University.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And thank you so much. And peace out, everybody.
Peace.